world! Welcome back to Spoiling Dead, the show where we talk about the latest Walking Dead episode. I am your hostess with the mostest, Rebecca Erb. I am with my dudes, Daniel Murphy.
How we doing?
And Tony Walters.
Hey, everybody.
Let's get this started. We're back. We're officially back, and it feels so good. And honestly, it's been a long time, guys.
Yeah.
I miss you. It's not like I don't see you anyway.
Right, but it's been a while.
It's been a while. And the first episode honestly feels familiar, but it's also something new. Last season was so Negan driven, and everyone is just like trying to get over it. So it's nice to have no Negan for a change. And I really loved how they featured the walkers with like all the close-ups and really getting into the special effects and everything. So yeah, let's talk about like the opening scenes before, you know, the credits and everything. I love seeing how Alexandria is being rebuilt. Interesting to see how everything is organized. And I love that they have their own little like highway system,
right?
And their routes
kind of going off of that plan, the plans in that book they got.
Yeah, I love it. And we had a really cute Rick, Michonne, and Judith moment, which of course I know the guys don't care, but I care. And it was very, very, it tugged at my heartstrings. And yeah, just like a couple things that I honestly didn't notice. But, you know, thankful for Chris Hardwick and their team that they noticed it for me. But Michonne has like a little fabric around one of her dreads that's like a plaid fabric for Carl. And the birds at the beginning, like the big flock of birds was, I guess, like a straight callback from something in the comics, which I thought was pretty cool. We see the sanctuary and how they're doing. Eugene and Rosita and Daryl are helping rebuild the sanctuary, making corn fuel, which I think is really cool. I love it.
Now, do you think that they put that in to answer the lifelong question of where the hell does all the gas come from? Or do you think they
that's
just
exactly
did it
that's exactly
to
what
show,
they did?
to show that now they're capable of doing it?
I think they're showing it to show that they're now capable of doing it. But even in the dialogue, like they had said, we have searched for gas, like miles and miles out.
Right.
There's nothing left here.
So they make it
sound
now
like they're
like
resorting to horsebacks
right.
and, you know, the corn.
They made it seem like
it
was
that.
a new thing that they just learned to do.
Right.
Eugene would be the kind of guy that would and should already know how to do that.
Oh, for sure. If not from that manual that they got. But the one thing that surprised me, though, out of like the part of the sanctuary is why do you think Daryl like wasn't allowing the scarecrow?
There's too much shit that goes down from one zombie every time.
He's just like, we're not going to
It's
deal
like
with
sperm.
one zombie.
You let
like...
one in, bam. It only takes one.
Daniel.
One zombie could kill one person. That's not. You may as well just not have a zombie.
Right. Which I agree, and plus I think it kind of goes along with they go back in the room, baby. What do you need? I have my beautiful daughter here with me today, guys. Do you want to say hi to everybody while you're back here? They're on the camera. What do you need right now, honey? Right where?
She's trying to find the camera.
No, you need to go back and watch your tablet, okay? While we do the show. Or you're just going to sit with me during the whole time. You want to sit with me during the whole time? Okay. We have a new cast member, guys. This is my daughter, Catherine. Say hello. Okay, she's going to be camera shy. So, I think with the whole Daryl thing is, like, he was there and had, like, some issues there because he was a prisoner, and they had all of those walkers up around, like, the gates and stuff, so I think it's just, like a mental thing, you know, like, where it just, like, makes him uncomfortable and makes him remember how he was as a prisoner there.
Yeah, later in the episode, he does kind of seem to have, like, a little, like, PTSD about the place. Like, when he's telling Rick that he wants to get out of there.
He has that conversation with Rick on the balcony about, you know, just wanting to be out of there, and
yeah,
it doesn't feel right being in there.
For sure. And Rick has a new fancy bat, we see, and I'm just curious if he calls it Lori.
It's a mace, technically.
Well, you know what?
I'm just saying.
It's a fancy bat, is technically what a mace is.
Inspired by
what, honey? You can talk too. Say hi, everybody. Okay, so the opening credits. The showrunner had said early on that there was spoilers right out in plain sight. So I really was like looking to see like, oh, what is all like the little things that could be spoilers? And you know, we'll talk about it later, but we did get like one spoiler already. You know, without obviously it being like,
you're
really
talking about
spoiled.
the credits.
Yeah, the
Okay.
opening credits.
Yeah, it's full of them. Yeah.
So just like from the top, there was Daryl's crossbow with like by the pitchfork with the skull, and his like special new knives that he has. Michonne's sword was in the ground, and I'm wondering what that's about because it's like in like the cemetery part where there's like all the crosses and like that half wall. With that like a helicopter flying off in the distance. There was the noose hanging from the barn, which we find out what happens there. We'll talk about that later. Lucille is in the ground with Rick's revolver right next to it, and in the background is the walls of Alexandria with a message saying final warning, which we're kind of getting like foreshadowing of like that, what that's about with like the saviors, and obviously like somebody's still not happy. And the ending with the title, I really like that they added like the green moss on it, which was kind of cool.
Or did anyone notice, or am I crazy? And I think it's what they did. The zombies seem slower and less stronger in this one. Like when they first came into the museum, whenever they saw one, it was just like,
because they're like
move,
showing
really.
like the decay of them.
Yeah,
right.
They just felt like they had aged the zombies a lot more to where they were.
Well, we jumped
like
a year and a half.
Title there. Yeah, a year and a half. That's what they said.
So I think that's exactly what they're doing. I think that they're pushing towards an end game right now. So so with pushing towards an end game, they're gonna start to make the zombies decay like what we think they should have been doing the whole time. I think.
Right. You know? I think they're just some of the stuff that maybe the writers and producers kind of just didn't worry about before that maybe they should have. I think they're starting to kind of pick up on just some of those details like that now.
Well, I think it's it's one of those big fan complaints from I don't know, people like me.
Yeah, no, it is though, because if you want something like that to last that long, you have to show some age to it. It'll just like Maggie being pregnant. Like that's the biggest joke in the whole thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, time has always been an issue on the show anyway, because it seems like Judith ages drastically every season, but nothing else seems to. So, speaking of which, she's talking now. That's nice.
Who's that?
Judith.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that added kind of dynamic, having a little, that point of view.
Yeah. I mean...
Bring your kid to work day's not going well here.
Okay. She is 3 years old, so we can understand if you are a parent. Okay. You read your comic, and we'll be on the show together, okay? Okay, so how much have you guys talked about? What did I miss?
To the seeds.
We're up to the seeds. Yeah, I think that like changes everything for everybody. Like they're rebuilding the grid from like all like the antique and ancient things, and I think it was really cool that that's where we find a little bit about Judith's past and backstory, that she was a teacher, and that just makes me enjoy her character a little bit more, because like my whole family is just made of teachers, and seeing that she is a badass, it's cool to see that like she came from a teacher like standpoint. And then like the little image where there was the human evolution
Yeah, that was
thing.
clever, yeah.
Oh, that was so clever. I loved that. It was really, really cleverly done. And I don't know, the part with Sadiq and the spiders, I really, really enjoyed. And funny thing, Greg Nicotero is actually terrified of spiders.
Yeah, join the club.
Are you really?
No, I hate spiders.
I mean, you act like you're not.
Shut up. They give me the heebie-jeebies, and I'm not too fond of them. But I feel like in the apocalyptic world of walkers or zombies, you would maybe be a little less scared of them because there's like more like scarier
I don't think so.
things out there.
I don't know.
It's
all fake.
There's still poisonous spiders.
True.
There's still other things to die from in the woods.
True. But I don't know, it was really interesting because Nicotero was on Talking Dead and he explained how his first idea was getting real spiders and just blowing them out of a tube. And he thought to himself, he's like, I'm going to be one that has to do that, so that's not how we're going to do it. Which I thought was kind of funny.
No real spiders, gross.
Yeah. But yeah, we get into like the main lobby part and all the walkers underneath that glass was like visually really, really cool. But of course we knew somebody was going to be falling through.
Right.
So all of that happens. I just think that Walking Dead is really good at building tension, even if you can maybe like call out what's happening. But after all that happened, I don't know, it looked really good. I know, I hear.
Tony's in it laughing.
I know, I can hear her like really clearly through.
Yeah, she's probably good at picking up good on your mic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that the King Ezekiel thing and Carol thing, super, super, super cute. You can see the notes.
I don't think she's totally into it.
You don't think Carol's totally into it?
I think she's into it, but I don't think she's totally into it.
I don't think she's into
maybe
being
she was
in
just waiting for Daryl's approval, which now she has.
I think that maybe she's just not ready to commit in this type of world. Like, she can't commit to loving someone because this is not the world where you fall in love anymore. It's just, this doesn't happen.
Right,
she just sees everyone dying. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she's got. I think that she loves him, but she's just not ready to commit to something like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that too. Yeah.
But I can't see Becca's notes, so I don't know what's next.
It says, "Why do you think Carol says no to the proposal?"
I mean, exactly the reason I just said. I think is that this isn't the world. This isn't the kind of world you fall in love in. It doesn't, you know. I mean, we've seen it happen, but we've also seen tragedy come pretty quickly after.
Right.
So
the next thing was that she's noticing, obviously, that the saviors, there's still some of them that are rooting for Negan, which is inevitable, I think. I mean, that's something that was bound to happen. There's going to be a few hardcores. You can't shake all the people,
right.
You know what I mean? It's like that with everything, politics and whatnot.
Yeah, there's
no matter
definitely
what kind of stuff happens, there's always going to be people that will follow them.
Right, and especially if
it's no different from Gregory trying to go after Maggie, really.
Especially with Negan still being alive, he's still gonna have followers, for
right,
sure.
Exactly, yeah. And it's like there's always gonna be those people that, well, one day he'll be back, and when he is, I'll be right here.
Right.
Those kind of people, but yeah, I don't know. Then she's got notes about Rick being a dick to Daryl. About wanting to lead the sanctuary, not wanting to lead the sanctuary anymore, and Rick's being a dick about it.
Yeah, you know, he kind of is.
They're both. Here's the thing. There's some tension between them, though, isn't there, at the moment? And there has been, and we know with Daryl and Maggie and whoever that third one was, Jesus, was it? I don't know. The little alliance thing that's going on over there. Hilltop, but I don't know. And then she thinks, is Daryl the one to kill Rick? It's possible.
We were talking about that earlier. I hadn't actually thought about that at all, and she had mentioned it earlier, and I thought that would be kind of an interesting thing. Like
I know they're bringing John back for Shane.
Right.
So if there's some mirroring there.
That's what she said, was that she thinks it might mirror the, Rick killing Shane with Daryl killing Rick. So that could be really interesting. I guess it's hard for me to buy into right now, but I guess we'll see what they set up within the season. I don't see that. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that just because of the dynamic they've had throughout the whole show, but
yeah, and then what happens to Daryl after that? Like, that's tough. That's a tough one to figure out. They'd almost both have to die, and they're probably not going to do that. I don't know. It would be interesting. I'm not against anything. You hear these people that get upset about different potential storylines and the way they don't want it to go. Like, I'm up for anything as long as it entertains me and shocks me. I'm down for that.
And I just like it all.
You always have, though.
I mean, like, for me, like, it's easy for me to shut off my brain and, like, enjoy something for what it is, especially Walking Dead, just because I really enjoy like world being like deteriorated and like looking like so far into like the future in that, you know, retrospect. But also just like, I don't know, I can see little things that annoy me from like a filmmaker standpoint, but I just kind of ignore it, unlike Tony does, and just let myself enjoy the show.
I mean, it's true though to an extent, because these shows are made so quickly, and if you compare them to like what we used to call TV shows, where everything was done in a studio with 3 sets, like they could knock that shit out,
Right.
you know. But these elaborate new TV shows that we've all been spoiled by,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
That's a good way
in
to put it.
HBO and people like that introduce these big fancy shows that everyone's doing. Like, it's amazing still that they can knock them out and have them look as good as they do, really.
Well, that being said, they had 2 days to film what they did in the Capitol. 2 days, which is crazy. Just from like doing
is.
our own projects and how long it takes us to
If
do
everything
stuff,
was
you know?
really there, that's impressive. But, you know,
Yeah.
that whole wagon thing was that
But-
had to be an ordeal to shoot that.
And the Capitol building was still like running and open while they were filming. So there's like field trips going in and out and
Wouldn't
like
that be
stuff of
amazing,
that.
though?
Right? Like I wish I was a kid on a field trip,
could've
like
just gone
witnessing
there.
that.
Figured out when it was and gone
True,
there.
true. I would have. I would have been the creep in the background trying to act like I work there.
Just walk in with a mop and a bucket.
Yeah, mustache. Okay, so where are we at?
How does Daryl feel about King Ezekiel and Carol?
Did you guys answer that?
No, we were just about. That's why I'm asking you now.
Oh, gotcha. Honestly, I think maybe there could have been like a little love connection just because like they're so close. And
I think he got stinky finger once,
No, stop.
and then they were like, "Let's just be friends."
Stop.
And because Carol's the only one that he opens up to 100% totally.
Right, completely. I feel like it may have happened eventually, but he just wants her to be happy, and he knows how Ed was. He saw firsthand and knew Ed. So he just, like, if she's happy, he's happy. So,
Yeah.
but
Right, no.
Norman Reedus is mad. He wanted there to be, like, a little thingy, which
Yeah, well,
I think
you
is
know.
cute. Yeah, I always enjoyed their relationship, and always enjoyed Michonne and Rick's relationship, and I love that, you know, Rick is kind of being a dick right now, but she is like his voice of reason. Like, if Daryl's worried about something,
being a dick. I think Rick's being chill.
from what we've seen him do
Rick is
in the
chill right
past,
now.
he is chill.
He's
but
letting the
as
beard
far
grow out.
as-
He's cut his hair. He's like, you know what? You do it.
Kind of.
I don't want to be
But with like,
famous.
the whole Daryl situation, he's still like not taking his
Because-
feelings into
Well,
consideration.
Daryl's also getting a bit like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Which
Why? And then Rick just
I-
tries to explain. Look, everybody's here. This is where these people are at. I can't really pull you out of here right now.
right.
You know,
I mean, you're
unless
right.
you get your Saturday covered ahead of time, pal. You can't just be dropping out.
Right.
That's what it is. Daryl
sure.
just doesn't want to be around him.
But Daryl's been there long
Maybe
enough.
Daryl wants to
a
check
year and
on
a half.
Carol and the King. Make sure, you know.
Well, he says
get his
that he
lady
wants
back.
to go check on Maggie and the baby. So
Yeah, that's just he just wants to get out of that
But
place. It's
I
partly
do-
that he doesn't want to be in that place. Like, he was a prisoner there for so long.
right.
And you know,
And I feel like Rick should understand that and see if there's another solution. He's just like, nope, this is how it's done.
I do
You know?
like the dynamic though that they're bringing into the show with
Between them two?
no, just with what they keep asking Rick from time to time, which is what makes you different than like Negan? What makes you different than the Saviors? What
Oh,
do you?
right.
Because he keeps saying, "Hey, we're providing them protection. They can help us out." And he's
Oh,
like,
and that
"Isn't?"
one guy was
yeah.
like, yeah.
And he's just. They keep asking him like, "Well, then what makes you different than what we were doing before?" And I think that's part of.
that's going to be part of Rick's stepping down. Like, he's starting to see some of that stuff, I think.
Yeah, but I'm saying that I think that Rick, even though he feels like his intentions are good, I'm sure Negan thought his intentions were pretty good too. And
He did, but then after
I mean,
a
he
while,
was-
the guy
he was
has to have realized
he is a
he's
dick about it. But
crossed the line, though.
Right.
Hey, but he was saving people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've said this the whole time. It definitely does mirror that. And Rick got a little crazy for sure. Like, he but it's how you come out of it, and Rick's coming out of it. Like, he's laying there, he's having talks with his wife in bed, he's figuring stuff out. Like,
yeah, and it's how you handle things. Like, Negan just didn't handle things right. Like, he may have been saving
because
people,
he
but
thought
it's
he
all
was
about
right.
how you go about doing it.
He thought he was right.
You know.
He didn't see anybody he was doing any wrong.
Yeah, and how they're trying to go about doing it now is, you know, bringing back democracy. And I really don't remember a whole lot of, like, history class, but Michonne was like, we're going to do a charter instead of a constitution. What's the difference? Tony, can you
Constitution
look up
is too strict and too controlling. It's the word.
Charter is a little...
It sounds better. Like, Constitution,
wiggle room.
you follow these rules no matter what. Like, it's the Constitution. Like,
And
charter
a charter, you have a moment where you can kind of, like, talk things out or something.
I guess I don't know exactly what it is, but it just sounds less...
Right, it does sound
like
less.
if you want to start introducing something into, you want to find the right word for it. You don't want to be like, all right, we're gonna Hitler this thing. We're gonna Hitler all over this thing.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
What's
like,
the difference, Tony? Can you look it up for us?
He'll have to Google it.
Google it.
A charter differs from a constitution in that the former is granted by the... I can't even pronounce this word.
There you
Google,
go.
how do you pronounce this word?
Thanks, Tony. What else?
A charter is formed by a person where a constitution is established by the people. So, a charter seems
actually figure the other way around.
Right,
then with
right. With how like Michonne is trying to. She seems like she wants more of the people involved, but.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she's rooting for Rick being the king.
She's really into him being
famous.
Being famous right now.
She is.
I think she's doing it like facetiously though.
But she secretly wants to be first lady. Don't lie. She wants to be the queen.
Speaking of the queen, I think Maggie's doing a pretty damn good job. Let's go to the hilltop. I think she's becoming a really great leader. I think she's really pulling a lot of things from Herschel.
Here's what you know. What I don't like about Maggie. Here's what I don't like about Maggie.
No, I think she's doing a really good job.
She got a grumpy face the whole time you see her. She's just grumpy all the time.
I think she just has like a stoic face.
Rest in bitch face.
A stoic face.
Bitch face. Let's call it a bitch face.
And she never intended for the Saviors to have everything. You know, this blacksmith was going to make a copy of that plow design or whatever, and then they were going to sell it to the Sanctuary. You know, with the whole thing with Ken, you know, she didn't want that to happen. She feels, you know, terrible.
She's getting greedy now too. Like,
I honestly don't.
We're not a team anymore. We want paid.
Greedy.
We want paid now, Rick. Sorry, Rick.
I think she handled, you know, the death of Ken to hurt his parents like the best that she could. Like, she felt horrible.
No, I mean, what else can you do there?
Exactly, what else can you do? And, you know, you can't be mad at their reactions because they just lost a son, so of course they're just going to feel grief in a certain way, and they did. Right. But then, you know, Gregory, and then, like, I love being a mother. Huh. You're pretty great sometimes.
That was on my tablet.
Yeah, how about you go watch your tablet? Go find it on your tablet.
I think it's on my tablet.
Okay, go find it. Okay, have fun.
I think that Maggie kind of really annoys me.
She annoys me too, Tony.
No,
Yeah.
I think she's doing a really good job. I think she's just trying to be the leader and mother that she can, and
I think she's trying. I do agree with that, but I don't think she's capable.
oh, I think she's
in
so
over her head.
capable. I don't think she is. I really, really, truly don't think she is.
Then why is she breaking off from the team?
I think what we saw at the end of last season was kind of a flash forward, and we're not quite there yet where we are here.
I don't think so.
Because even like how
her hair was shorter.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Totally sure.
Totally. I agree.
Absolutely,
Definitely
100 million
Okay,
percent
well that
sure.
makes sense. I think it should have been like kind of
And
like a
she was
flash
pregnant.
forward.
You know how I know? Flat.
Stop!
She had a flat stomach, so she must have been pregnant.
Okay, well either way, I think that I don't know. I think she handled everything well. You know, with Gregory talking, I was
She's
like,
going to become the new villain.
I don't know. I'm
Oh, for
rooting
sure.
her
My
right
words.
now. I'm
I'm surprised she doesn't have a cat on her
now.
lap every time you see her.
No, she has Herschel. That's
It is Herschel.
I know.
She did say something at the beginning of the show, and I thought she said, I got to get back to
To
Herschel.
Herschel, yes, it's so great.
And then I'm like,
And-
did she call the kid Herschel?
yeah, she named
Not-
him Herschel.
The kid's not called Herschel.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
Nah, later on in the show, she gave the kid a different name.
No, his name is Herschel.
Oh, I'm sure it was something different
No, it's
later.
Herschel, which I think is super sweet, and it's really sad, and we're gonna talk about him more, at the end of the episode. But with the passing of Scott Wilson, I think it's not only did they dedicate the episode last night to him, but it's great that his
supposed to be
awesome
back.
character. That this awesome character that he brought to life is still kind of living on through his grandson. And I think that's so great. We have two amazing characters that we loved that are living on, Glenn's son and Herschel's grandson, and I just love it.
He's supposed
just
to have
so
filmed
cute.
stuff for this season.
I know, that's what you showed. Which is sad. That's really sad.
Yeah, he was super nice.
Yeah, and Jonathan over at They Said We Said said, isn't Maggie supposed to die in the episode now? Because she's only signed on for 6 episodes this season.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I completely
And so is
forgot
Rick.
about that.
So
I think she's
Well,
going to
they're
be the
really
bad guy.
showcasing Rick's situation, because saying catch, Rick's final episodes. But I completely forgot about the Maggie thing. I wonder how that's going to go down.
yeah, she's gonna be the bad guy.
Maybe she just goes away with Herschel.
Rick's going to kill her with a revolver, then bury it next to Lucille because it's a bad gun. Wasn't that one of the tiles?
What was one of
The gun buried with the bat?
It was in the grass with
Yeah.
Lucille and Alexandra.
They were just frolicking together.
Oh, they're just making out.
But did Gregory fool you guys at all?
No.
Gregory, no. Not really a bit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that little snake.
I wanted to see
Ooh.
blood pour out of his body.
Oh, me too. And especially when, Ken's dad is putting his mom to bed and she's drunk and grieving and just having a
Okay,
really hard time. And
the
he's in
only
a doorway holding the bottle. He's like, oh, I could sit with you. Oh.
Yeah, you knew he was up to something.
Yeah, for sure.
And the only thing
so
I agree
mad.
with on Maggie throughout the whole ordeal was that she let the other guy, live.
I think that was a really good idea because...
That's the only good thing she did.
Oh, really? You don't agree with how she handled Gregory?
I agree that Gregory should have died, but she should have just killed him right then.
I don't think so, because I think that would have turned the people
Maggie's breaking all the
away from
rules
him.
and she's separating herself from the rest of the group, and this is another reason why.
I think if she would have killed him, slit his throat, in his place, in his room, his house, then that would have raised
look at what
some
it looks
eyebrows.
like. He was in command. They didn't see what happened, all right? They don't give a crap about Maggie's story. She's the leader. We can't do anything about it. She's the leader, right?
But she became the leader rightfully so.
But
because,
I'm just saying,
you know what I mean?
what the
From
rest of the town's going to see is that she killed the second in command. She killed the one that she came over and took over. That looks bad. No matter how it went down.
Right.
Yeah,
But
it's
doing
there's
it in
only
front of
3 people that really
doing it
know what
as a
happened.
performance in front of the whole town says, I'm sending a message.
I
And
can
then-
see how that would be perceived, but I still think that she handled it right, because she even said, I don't want to do this. Please, I'm just showing you
Yeah, but she did
that
it.
the crime, the punishment fits the crime. We're
Then
all
why
in this
didn't
together.
she? Why
Don't
didn't
let me
she?
do this again.
She's separating herself from the rest. She could
Right.
have thrown him in a jail cell next to Negan. Why didn't she do that?
Because he he
Negan's
had
still
been given
alive.
chance
I know, but
over
but
chance
Negan,
over
but
chance
if it was
over
up to
chance.
Maggie, if it was up to Maggie, Negan would not be alive. This is they're setting
Right,
up
Maggie
the
would have killed him just as
Right.
she killed Gregory.
right. They're
which is
setting
not
up the
right
dynamic
thing to do.
between Maggie and Rick right now, the opposites.
Maggie's the new enemy.
Exactly. Maggie's the new enemy. Rick's the guy who's not going to kill people. He'd rather put them in prison. Maggie's
and
the person
Maggie's
who's going
trying
to
to
kill people.
get Daryl mixed up in it.
Right.
Mind games, pussy magic.
I think that I don't know. I think that keeping Negan alive was good for the whole cause, as far as the sanctuary,
What would be the most
giving
kick-ass?
themselves up, and then Negan is here as an example. But with the intermediate Hilltop thing, I just think that it was still a good idea that for her, like, to kill him. I don't
agree.
know.
If she was gonna kill him, she should have just killed the guy when she had a knife to his throat, and that should have been the way she should have done it. But instead, she made a big thing about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
She made a big thing about it.
The whole town's gonna be like,
disagree.
better not mess up. She'll hang me next.
Which is the point. Like,
It is the
point
point.
I know, but
taken.
now
But
she's
you-
ruling
that's-
with fear,
but
and not
right.
with.
You know,
and that's
a
the
little
opposite.
healthy fear goes along.
Says
You know what?
Negan.
Yeah, I was
Quote,
gonna say
Negan.
that's something Negan would say.
A little healthy fear goes along. I'm just saying.
Becca, you could be the enemy too.
I mean, you know me.
Yeah, I thought so.
I would be like.
You're on Team Maggie. What would
right
be the
now
best
I
way
am.
to take
Right
Maggie
now
out of the
I
show?
am.
She's been in it from season 2, right?
Is that she
Turn
goes
her
off
into
to
the
a
enemy.
vacation world
Yeah, that's
with
not gonna
Herschel,
happen.
and they live happily
That's
ever
not gonna
after.
happen.
And Glenn just crawls from underneath a lucky dumpster, and they all live happily ever
You're as
after.
crazy as Maggie.
So yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the ending. I liked the hang-in. I liked the museum part of things. Like, what was your guys' favorite part of the episode?
I do like the
Like,
overall
honestly.
look and feel of it. I do like it. It feels like throwback Walking Dead, which is cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I do like it. The pacing was a bit funny for me last night. I don't know. There was a
I
few
kind of-
moments
I
that
think
they
that
just
the-
paced it funny.
I actually liked
Yeah.
the pacing because I feel like this episode had more like small intimate moments between characters. So you had like
Yeah, but what I didn't like about that is that it felt to me like they were doing like almost like a revamp. Where
They
had
are.
to
The
touch base
the
with
episode
everyone
is
and-
called A New Beginning.
I know that, but it felt too much like a new beginning, and I didn't want it to be that. I wanted
Like-
something to transition better
Right,
than just
right.
like, "Hey, Daryl, how are you today?" Well, guess what? I can talk a bit more now, so I'll tell you a bit more about how I feel.
This-
Like that. That was kind of new.
Yeah.
But they
Just as
also,
an
for the
example.
first time, they recapped too. Like the beginning of the episode recapped what happened at the end of the previous season. There's like the narration, and they recap everything.
Yeah.
Rick does
I
that.
like the narration because usually they just go through like little scene to scene like of what happened before. I love that they had the
Right, the recap though this time
narration.
that actually explains everything. It was, and the title of it is A New Beginning. I think that they're trying to bring in all the viewers that haven't been watching the show, and they're going, "Hey, guess what? Rick's dying this season,
Yeah,
so
we're
everybody's
wrapping
tuning
this up.
in
Come and watch
without
the
having
end."
seen what's going on. Come watch the end of the
What better
show.
way to make
Right.
somebody cram a show is to give them an end to it. Like now they have a reason to sit and watch 10 seasons of something because they know eventually, hell yeah, it's going to end. So this gets people on the
That's me
on it
generally.
now. Right.
I don't watch anything unless I, know
won't
it's
watch
over.
a long ass show
yeah.
unless it ends at some point. So I
Yeah.
can just watch.
Otherwise,
and
you're
I'm
Game
done.
of Thrones.
Right. And that's a good. But these Game of Thrones and Walking Dead was good enough for me to like commit to
Hey,
it.
well, at least with Game of Thrones, you knew it was going to end because there's only so many books.
Right, and that's true. And I'm
Well, now do we really know because they're going away from the books, aren't they? Like he stopped writing them. Like
You,
he never...
hey, Miss, I've only seen up to the Red Wedding.
I-
You don't even get an opinion right
Just saying.
if that's as far as you've seen, yeah,
Yeah,
You should catch
listen,
up.
the Red Wedding, don't...
you've probably got time to catch up.
Oh, I totally do. I just...
now. Yeah, because they're not
But
coming
do
back
I
for like another
really?
year
Because
or
we have
something.
so much going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's wrap up a little bit. Couple questions that I have. I don't know if you guys are wondering, but I want to know where Lucille is. I'm curious. Where's Lucille?
Locked up next to Freddy's glove and Jason's machete.
And then this isn't really a question; it's a statement. The new showrunner had said we are getting whispers this season,
For sure.
so that's really exciting. I'm pumped to see what that's going to be about, and not only that, but like the special effects behind them. I'm really excited, and yeah, the sneak peek was interesting. They're trying to
I didn't see a sneak peek.
pull away from the herd while everybody, or pull the herd away from them, like trying to rebuild that bridge. And there's like saviors that are missing, and they just said like they have family and like kids back home. They're not just going to be like running away and doing something, like something is wrong. So that really intrigues me on what's going on with them. And yeah, I don't know. We're back, guys. Feels really good. Feels really good. Daniel, what do you have going on in the HM&M world?
Oh man. Just finishing up Kill Dolly Kill. Editing that. We're really close. Hopefully by the end of the week that'll be rough cut we'll have on that. Then Death Care.
Death
Working on
Care.
getting started with
That's
that.
getting big, man.
Yeah. And then You Die Too, there's a script for that.
which I may be the lucky one that has had a chance to look at said script.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's really exciting.
What do you got going on?
There's a lot going on, man. Well, we're like officially back. Like not only Spoiling Dead, but Rad Entertainment as a whole. Isn't that right, Tony?
That is right.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, we kind of went on a hiatus, and we are rebooting some of our old favorites. And what else do we have? We have new things coming, Tony, right?
We've got Rad Mini movies that'll be coming at the beginning of next year. Little
Rad
5-minute
movies?
shorts. We've got
Sounds amazing.
We've got the review show coming back, the video game show. So review, replay, rewatch. I think Becca's working on a movie called Fatal Fae.
I am. It will be produced by Rad Entertainment. This will be my directorial debut. I'm also going to be playing the lead lady. And yeah, it's a medieval fantasy, which if you know me, that is like what I am all about. I'm obsessed with fantasy. And yeah, we're just like really early pre-production phase, but so far so good. We got our location, our castle, and I don't know, it's been really a fun ride so far.
Yeah. So if you didn't think we were busy enough, we are busier now.
Oh, and then Midwest Horror Fest is coming up at the end of this month.
It's like 3 weeks away.
3 weeks away.
If that.
A film festival for filmmakers by filmmakers.
Yes. October 26th, 27th, 28th, State Theater, Logansport, Indiana.
47 films.
47
films.
47 films. Costume
Features,
cost.
horror, sci-fi,
Grindhouse, costume contest, burlesque show, magician, food,
after party.
beer, after party. Did I say burlesque show?
Burlesque show.
And if I said it, it deserves to be twice because
Costume
I mean,
contest.
hello.
Did you say that? You said
I think
that.
I said it. Yeah.
Lots.
So, yeah, that's all that we have going on. Thank you so much for tuning in to Spoiling Dead, and come back and talk with us next time on Monday.
Monday.
So, yeah.
At 6.
At 6 o'clock.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.